Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome back to another episode of Door to Door. Here we are. It is I don't know, the last, what is this? It's the day before Thanksgiving. No, it's 2 days before Thanksgiving.
All through the house. The turkey was stirring.
Dreaming of stuffing.
Oh, Lordy. Well, what a strange Thanksgiving this is, right? But listen, we're all tucked away, hopefully, in our respective ports in the storm, being safe and sensible. And we were talking about our respective Zoom backgrounds and how we think it speaks to each one of us. Chris is hanging out, getting some rays, living the life.
Yeah.
Sipping a daiquiri.
Sipping a daiquiri.
Wearing the SPF 80 at least.
Right. You want to get burned in Bushwick.
No.
Lainey, hanging out in the stacks. And I have my own show. Yeah, Ricky. All right. So this is we're just going to talk about books. We think because it's I don't know, Christmas is around the corner, the holidays are all around the corner, and so we're going to talk about some books that are out, a couple that are coming out. So books that make great gifts, be right out. Books that make great gifts for other people, and if they come out after the holidays into the new year, they're books that would make great gifts for you. So off to the races we go. Oh my God, how excited are we for this book, Barack Before Obama? The forward. These are pictures of Barack Obama before he became president. Lane, you want to show some?
Yeah. David Katz followed him on his trail leading up to when he was senator. So this is before he's president, and it's like little before scene photos. Like, look how cool these photos are.
Oh God, I love him.
They're very intimate. They're just like fly on the wall, little peeks into
showing him as a dad, or walking. I think there's one of him like walking by himself in New York City after an election. I love this photo too. So
oh my
cool.
God.
Yeah, and we're going to share this catalog with you guys, so you'll have all the info you need.
Yeah. So when does that come out, Lainey?
Comes out in December. So right around the corner.
Beautiful. All right. What else we got?
I love this book. So sweet.
Yeah. I remember when we did our reading of this, and I was at home in the kitchen where my workstation was, and my mom was listening. She's like, and she was getting teary-eyed. I think all of us did too. She asked me, like, I don't understand how you got through that. I don't understand how you did it. She wasn't familiar with the book before then.
Oh wow, that's so sweet.
I had a copy for the reading, and my mom was like, "What is this?" She was flipping. She's like, "I think this is my new favorite book." So
I love this book.
Everyone loves it.
Can you show some pictures from that? Some illustrations, interior. We're talking, of course, about the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse by Charlie Mackesy, which went on sale, I think, in October.
Yes, October 22nd.
Of last year. Of last year.
Yes, last year.
Oh, thank you, Chris. Yes. What do you want to be when you grow up? Kind, said the boy. Oh. Who's reading that?
Oh, I can read that one. What is the bravest thing you've ever said? Asked the boy. Help, said the horse. Yeah, really, really beautiful.
Yeah, they are. It's a lovely book.
I mean, yeah, really gorgeous.
And you can. What?
I was just gonna say, check out his Instagram. I wonder if it's in the notes here, because he has really cool images
and there is.
Yeah. Oh, yep. You're right. Maybe. Yep. Perfect. I'll show you some. It's a very, very sincere guy. He spoke to us on a video to the whole of Harper, but he just so nice. And but yeah, he's like does these beautiful drawings and videos of him drawing the horse. Yeah, check it out, Charlie Maxey.
He's a gift, and the book is great for anybody, really. So it's great. Another book that's good for anybody who just needs a little bit of a laugh. Taxidermy Gone Wrong. The funniest, freakiest, and outright creepiest beastly vignettes. I'm sorry, but I just think it's funny. I know some people may be like, that is so horrible, but come on. It's just fun. It's just got a lot of horrifying, hilarious pictures inside taxidermy and animals that I mean, come on. There's a mouse. He's painting. What could be bad? Boxing squirrels. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, go back. Look at the skunk in the canoe. I love it. I think it's very funny. And it's on sale. Just went on sale November 3rd. So pick up a copy and have some fun. Great stocking stuffer. Next, what do we got? Oh, What Kind of Woman? So my goodness gracious, this is a collection of poetry. It just hit the #1 slot on the New York Times, and I mean, we were thrilled naturally to see this, and this is by Kate Baer, and it's really for women. It's about the hardships of being a mother, a wife, and a woman. Instant #1 Times New York Times bestseller. Joanna Goddard, Cup of Joe author, says, if you want your breath to catch and your heart to stop, turn to Kate Baer. This is just debut poetry about the hardships of being a woman in the world today. So #1, New York Times bestseller. What Kind of Woman? If you're a poetry lover in your life, especially a woman, this is the book for her. Went on sale November 10th.
There's her post about it. That's exciting.
Just got off the phone with my agent editor, who screamed into the phone while I stood outside and lost feeling in my toes. Yes.
Yeah. So check her out on Instagram too. She posts poetry and things. That's KJ Baird.
So great.
Yeah.
All right. Next. Greatest Beer Run Ever.
Greatest Beer Run Ever by John Chick or Chicky Donahue and JT Malloy. This is such a great work of nonfiction. So Chicky Donahue, which actually he was just on today about a week ago telling his story. End of the 1960s, he and his friends, Chicky and his friends, were in New York City having a beer, thinking about their friends coming back home from Vietnam. And they basically came up with an idea that only one person could actually carry out, that being Chicky, that someone should transport a bunch of beer, a bunch of alcohol to their friends still over in Vietnam, show them some love. There was, of course, a lot of backlash, public backlash at this time regarding the war and by extension the troops. And yeah, they needed some love. And John Chicky Donahue took it upon himself to take a journey unlike any other, to again show some love to the troops. Plane, train, and automobile, get there, get them some booze, and show them the love. Yeah, it's going to be a major motion picture by Peter Farrelly, which is kind of a big deal. He won a few Academy Awards for Green Book. Yeah, and it's just amazing that that Chicky is here to share his story, larger than life character, just really unforgettable. And it just reads like a movie, so it's appropriate that it will be. And I think we do have some pictures, right, Lainey, that we can show of Chicky and some of his adventures. Yeah, unbelievable.
Should we tell them what they brought to us in the meeting at work when they presented this book for the first time?
Totally.
They came around and gave PBR to everybody as we listened to this. It was quite funny.
Yeah, Joe Scarborough, MSNBC Morning Joe. He's been talking this book up, and which goes on sale. It just went on sale on the 17th. So you're probably seeing Joe Scarborough everywhere talking about this book, Saving Freedom, which is all about Harry Truman and defending democracy against the Soviet threat of the dawn of the Cold War. Harry Truman had been vice president for less than 3 months when President Franklin Roosevelt died. So he was just thrust into the spotlight, and he told reporters he felt like the moon, the stars, and all the planets had fallen on me, because he was just facing a hostile world stage. This is not only the story of that time in politics where the world was sort of upside down, and there's the Cold War, and there's just the Soviet threat at the dawn of this Cold War, but it's also about what life was like for him, and what what his wife was like, and what he was this. They said he was a failed haberdasher. Like this, I mean, he really was such a unique man when he came into this position. And so it's interesting that he talks about how FDR approached him, to even be his vice president, and it's really a crazy kind of a story. And also, like, his mother-in-law didn't really think so highly of him, and he couldn't please her. The man is vice president and president of the United States. Wild. So anyway, Harry Truman, Saving Freedom, Joe Scarborough. The man knows what he's talking about, and he's a great writer. So there we go. That's really for people who just love history, can't get enough of it. Walk around the block, Christopher.
Yeah, so I am talking about this one. So this is for the kind of popular science reader in your family, or if that's you, fantastic. This is for people who want to know how things work. Specifically, Spike, who we had the pleasure of having on Door to Door. I hope many of you saw him. He wrote A Splintered History of Wood. In this, he's looking at urban landscapes and how things that we often take for granted, whether big or small, manhole covers, recycling bins, things like that, how they shape how we interact with our environment. So he has such an interesting mind. He did a video for us just outside his door. He walked down the sidewalk, and just, a short, brief walk, there are thousands of things that we just take for granted, things that are engineered, things that are built, structured in a specific way, and they completely impact our lives. I'm just going to read a few of the notes here about, so how the addition of a front porch reduces crime and increases property value. How planting a $10 boulevard tree cuts air conditioning costs by 20%. And his research is actually fascinating for this book. He talked to the Trash Museum of New York City, and where there are 45,000 items of trash one sanitation worker collected over a 34-year career. Very interesting. He interviewed a squirrel linguist who's a professor at Auburn University, who studied squirrel behavior and language for more than 40 years. It's all over the place, but it really is just, again, a fascinating way to look at the world around us in a completely fresh, surprising way. And he was a joy to have on the program too. I highly recommend you go back and watch it if you missed it.
He also did an Instagram takeover, and what I thought was so cool about his, because like you said, he's lovely and had so many great posts to share about his workspace and his family. But as you know, we've been doing author Instagram takeovers every Friday. And so he did a video where he was like my book is about how things are made and done and what happens. So I'm going to tell you how this book was made. And he like walked through, he's like, this is the Word document. This is what I write. This is what my editor sees. He shows all the different things. He's like, this is an arc. This is what happens next. I don't know. It just was so on brand for what this book is about. And he does it so well. It was really cool.
Sometimes small things, huge ideas. It's fascinating. Really, just it's a very expansive look at our world. So
Yeah, and that video was so. That video, well, okay, so he was on, like you said, he was on the Today Show, and then we split the episode, the Facebook Live episode, between him and Tom Hines, the author of Wild City. So it was a really cool hour of just like sort of popular science and ecological evolution in terms of Wild City, which this book came out. Wild City came out in May, and I feel like look, the pandemic was at full tilt then, and books like this, a lot of books just didn't get their due, I don't think, and I have to tell you, I mean, this book, Walk Around the Block and Wild City, we loved talking to these authors because we learned a lot, and they're very interesting books. And a lot of work went into these books, a lot of research. Wild City is this. You don't have to live in New York to appreciate what this book is offering, which is gorgeously illustrated, and deeply researched, and it's all about the animals. They do this like an illustrated guide to 40 different animals that are citizens of New York City, and how New York sort of evolved, and how the animals evolved along with New York City. It's so good. Lainey, are you showing pictures? Do you have any pictures?
Yeah, I showed them the spreads.
You have the hawk that Mary Tyler Moore was always trying to.
No, I have mandarin duck, pizza rat, panda, and a whale.
Yeah. That's good. So I'm looking back at the copy because I want to do it justice, and it was a bit ago, but I don't want to forget things. So there was a great white shark in Wales off the coast of Queens. He talks about mythical animals like the Montauk monster. He talks about roaches and trash pigs. He talks about these peregrine falcons. It's beautifully illustrated in the book, and they're just these weird little stories about these animals who have returned after being driven away. It's about New York City's, as I said, the evolution, past, present, future. It goes from pre-colonial era to the height of pollution in the mid-20s, and the aftermath and the implications of global change, global climate change. It's really fascinating. You learn a lot. You learn about a lot about the city and about the animals and how they survive and thrive or don't. And It's beautiful. And he's funny. He's got a funny website. He was a lot of fun to talk to. He does some very silly videos himself. So he's our kind of guy because he's just super smart, and he tells us a lot of things, and you learn a lot, but you also have a couple of laughs along the way. So 2 thumbs up for Wild City by Tom Hines.
I can look up Tom and see if he said anything about the owl they found in the Rockefeller Center tree. Because that owl is so cute. Oh my gosh, it's the cutest animal I've ever seen in my life.
They named him Rockefeller.
Yeah.
They named the owl Rockefeller. But that poor little thing was like hungry. Yeah, you're right, Chris. That's exactly the kind of thing that he would be writing about.
Yeah. Mary Jane by Jessica Anya Blau. We are very excited, all of us. This is our lead read for summer. It comes out May 11th, so summer lead read title, which is a program that the Salesforce all votes on a book we're going to get behind for the season. This is our winner. So good. I know Virginia probably has lots of great things to say too, because we are both big
Love.
fans. So in this book we have Mary Jane. She's a young girl, and she has taken a job nannying for, as her mother would say, respectable family down the street, but she might learn that's not the case. The man is a psychiatrist, and he and his wife live in his house with their young daughter, and she's going to nanny. And she slowly realizes, coming, well, I guess not slowly, probably fastly, comes into the house to nanny, and she realizes that like this is just chaos. Like the little girl doesn't wake up at a certain time. She doesn't know when meals are. The mom is nowhere to be found sometimes. The dad stays in his little hideaway, and she kind of tries to put some order in this house because that's what she's grown up with. Her parents are really strict and very by the book, and so she tries to, feed them and put groceries up and do all these things, clean the house. They have to make a game of putting the records up because the little girl is trying to help her keep this house together. God bless them. And so then a rock star and his movie star wife move in because he's gonna dry out. He's going through the stages to put off his addiction, and so the doctor's gonna treat him. And obviously he's famous, so they can't tell anyone. They have to move in and be pretty quiet about it. And Mary Jane gets an educated summer, and everything that is just like free freedom and music and rock and roll and all of these things. And now she has to hide it from her parents, and because they won't let her go if she lets them know about it. It's a really really fun book, and it's set in the 70s, so you get the all the nostalgia that you want. And you just like really love these characters. You love the little girl, and you just want to spend time with her. It feels like you get a treat to go babysit with her every day because you learn something new from this family. And I think if you see her learn a lot about herself, and knowing that her family is not always the only way to live, and she has to kind of decide who she wants to be. So it's about finding your identity, but also lots of great music references and crazy stories. They have group therapy. It's so fun. And there's this really great quote which is on the cover, but I want to read the full quote. So Nick Hornby says, I love Jessica Anya Blau's novel. Mary Jane is about an oppressed teenager being given a jolt of life and joy by an eccentric family found a family of therapists, a child, a rock star, and a movie star in the 1970s. If you have ever sung along to a hit on the radio in any decade, then you will devour Mary Jane at 45 RPM. What a quote. So I know, Virginia, you're a big fan.
I love this book. Um, I love all the 70s references, and that's a really good way to put it, Lainey. You feel like, you're looking forward to sort of babysitting this little 5-year-old kid. She's kind of wise beyond her years in a lot of ways. She's a very compelling little character. She's a funny little kid. And yeah, it's just so funny the way Mary Jane is. She's so buttoned up in her own home, and then she goes into this, fun house, and it's all she's exposed to everything. And then, and of course all her mother cares really is that, she's working, she's working for a doctor. The doctor is, got this drug-addled rock star hanging out at the house, trying out. It's cool. It's a great book. I love, love, love the cover because I love the 70s, and it's dynamite. And you don't obviously, Lainey and I have a couple of years between us, but that didn't make Lainey love it any less. And Lainey was the one who told me, "Why aren't you picking this up? Because it's so good." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get to it." And then when I get to it, I was like, "Oh my god, it's so great!" So I think that's an important point. It doesn't. I could I could identify with this book, but you don't have to have lived it to appreciate it. It's really sweet.
Fun read. And
Mm.
you can download it right now and go read it. So So these are, gifts, but also a gift to yourself is what we were saying.
Love that. Brilliant Life of Eudora Honeysett. We had her on Annie Lyons. We had this lovely author on, um, and this book went on sale in September, and I love this jacket so much. It's just a really sweet, um, funny story about a woman, an elderly woman who is pretty much done with life. She's not ill, she's just kind of done. And all she's got to do is make a call to a clinic in Switzerland and get her plan in motion to end her life. And this is what she plans to do. And this kid moves in with her mom across the street. She's 10 years old. Her name is Rose Trewidney, and she is a firecracker. And she's 10. She has no edit button. She has no sense of, boundaries. And she goes bounding into Eudora Honeysett's life. And it, it's so good because, of course, Eudora bristles at her and she kind of just wants her to go away. But at the same time, there's something very um, magnetic about this kid. She's just crazy, and she's just wants to be her friend. She doesn't have a lot of friends, and what's neat about this story is that she kind of like trips up memories of things for Eudora, and Eudora goes back and thinks about her own life when she was this kid's age, and so the book goes back and forth in time, and you learn what informs Eudora to be the person that she is in present day. And it's just a beautiful story. It's a lot of fun, um, bittersweet, and I just loved it. There's a quote. Uh, oh, People magazine just said one adorably British odd couple. Charming. I love that. A lot of quotes for it, but I love that because it pretty much sums it up. I don't think you need to know more than that to pick it up and fall a little bit in love with both of these characters.
And Virginia did a great interview with Annie Lyons for our podcast, which I just wanted to pull out for everybody. You can go listen to that. It was really great.
Yeah, she was super nice. What a nice woman. Great story.
And Raceless by Georgina Lawton. So we wanted to quickly mention this as well as The Secret Life of Dorothy Soames by Justine Cowan, because we had a wonderful Facebook Live last week. I guess, last week if you're watching this next week. And you can go check that out because these authors dive into what is like a unending well of information in these books. The Secret Life of Dorothy Soames, Justine had a interesting relationship with her mother, and she found out after she had passed that she had had this whole other life that she didn't know about. She was a foundling at the Foundling Hospital, and there's a whole history behind it. It was this really historical hospital that had a little bit of some bad things going on, and she goes into a lot more detail with a lot of historical photos as well. So go to our Facebook for that. And Raceless. So Georgina is British, and she grew up in a white family, although she is Black, and they never mentioned that she was any different than anyone else, and she had to kind of grow up without this identity and this other part of herself. And she found out after taking a DNA test that she had another history, another half of a history she didn't even know. And so she has become this DNA expert in ways. She's traveled all over the world to majority Black communities, and has just dived in with DNA and history and where you come from. So she also has a new podcast that just came out on Audible. So she talks about all this in the Facebook Live. I won't get into all the things she did, but there's a lot of cute photos of her and her family. And just, there was a thread between the two that I think worked so well because they both found out different parts of their identity that they didn't know about. And they had to do a lot of uncovering to figure that out and figure out where they came from. And just quickly, Cat Sebastian, Queer Principles of Kit Webb. First trade paperback release. We're so excited. And I don't know, should we tell them?
Yes.
So we have a discussion that is happening at the Diversity Pavilion at ALA Midwinter this January. And we're featuring all authors who write about diverse characters. And one of them is going to be Cat Sebastian. We are so excited. So please be on the lookout for that because everybody loves Cat Sebastian. And this is a big deal that she's in trade paperback. And
if you've never read Cat Sebastian, which is all about same-sex love, baby. And now, if you're not a big e-reader, good, because it's going to be on paper. Super stoked.
Okay, world travel, Anthony Bourdain and Lori Woollever. I don't think Anthony Bourdain needs any introduction, but he is a New York Times bestselling author, one of the more influential travel writers, chefs, general personalities. And then Lori is his longtime collaborator who finished this book upon Anthony's passing. I love how Anthony writes about travel. I think he was someone of big appetite, big curiosity, and he just knew how to fully envelop himself in a culture and a place, how to talk to people, how to travel, what to eat, what to do. And this is a very practical guide to traveling like Anthony travels. So where he likes to go, where he likes to eat, what he recommends you don't do, what you do, where to stay, all of that. But it also has notes from many of his longtime friends, colleagues, family members, just memories, deeper stories about Anthony that are extremely moving and touching. This is a beautiful book. It is illustrated. Echo, the imprint, was very focused on just getting this package perfect to honor Anthony, his memory. And I think it's perfect. I love the illustrations. I love the jacket. And again, I just have so much respect for Anthony, his viewpoints, how he sees the world, and how we can interact with cultures that are not our own. This is, I think, the guide for any want-to-be travelers, and hopefully someday soon we'll all be able to take advantage, use this guide, and actually get on a plane and see the world. I know I'm looking forward to it. So, and that's going on sale in April. So keep your eyes peeled.
And then we just wanted to quickly mention, you got to get in the holiday spirit. So we have our Christmas books. Of course, we love Jenny Colgan. Amazing. And what a perfect name for a holiday romance writer. I can't even tell you. I don't know how that worked out, but it's wonderful. So those are 2 holiday romance reads for you, because I know that's, snuggle up and read a great book. That's what I'm looking forward to. So
yeah. Yum.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
Not bad. Not bad for us. Pretty good. So there you have it. Some fun books that we love and that we're excited about. So we hope that maybe this gives you, I don't know, a couple of some thoughts for some gift giving, and also just for yourself. Get a book, sit down, and wait till the world stops being crazy. We'll always be here every Tuesday. So, with that, we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving. Safe. A wonderful and lovely day. Whoever you're with, even if you're just sitting by yourself, that is all good. Just be safe. And we'll all be around next year. Righty. Chris, Lainey, any parting words from the palm trees and the stacks?
Well, stay safe, stay warm, read a good book. Yeah, thanks for being here throughout all of this craziness. Everyone watching, hugely appreciated. So.
For
Yes.
sure.
Enjoy time with family in
Mhm.
some way or another. If it's virtual or in person,
Yep.
be safe and be happy that we have family to be around. So,
There you go. There you go. And thank you for everything that you do for us, for our authors, for our books, for all books. We just we know we can appreciate you know how many books there are out there and how many wonderful stories and stories that just need to be told. And we appreciate everything you do to get these into the hands of your patrons. So from our respective ports in the storm to yours, take good care. Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll be back next week. Okay? All right. Bye. Mwah.